quickly, based on what we saw in Game 1, what I expect for the rest of the series is going to be similar. Cleveland will win this series, whether it's in 4 games or 5 games, I'm not sure yet. But what we're going to see is, Cleveland will have some leads. They might even be, trailing the Celtics from time to time. But it's going to be that kind of series where the, Celtics lose by, 10, 8 points. Maybe they steal a game, 3 or 4 in Boston. There's just too much talent on the floor for the Cavaliers right now to really have any difficulty long-term against the Celtics. And as we saw in Game 1, Kyrie Irving was ready for this moment. Playoff debut, 30 points. Kevin Love had a slow start but acquitted himself well. And as I wrote, it was necessary not for LeBron James to play well in his first playoff game in a Cavs uniform since the series 4 years ago against the Boston Celtics. It was necessary for Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving to get off to good starts, and that's what happened. It doesn't mean anything in the long term, like how far can the Cavaliers go, but it was just a good sign and a good start that those two played well, and Cleveland's going to need that if they're going to go deep into the playoffs, get out of the second round, and play in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I know we're diving into the on-the-court stuff, but you've been in Cleveland a lot lately, and you've certainly been there a lot more the last couple of years than I have. I was kind of wondering, what's the spirit around town? Because I'll never forget when I was there the night that LeBron came back for the first time in a Heat uniform, and so I've still got this lasting memory of kind of all the.
Here are 5 things you need to know for Wednesday, June 17th, 2015. I'm Maria Fowler. Tropical Storm Bill, which made landfall on Tuesday, is still bringing harsh weather to Texas. The state is facing heavy rains with the possibility of flooding and even tornadoes. The National Weather Service says average rainfall through this evening for portions of the state will be 3 to 6 inches, but there still could be as much as 12 inches in some isolated areas. Texas is already saturated. It had its wettest month ever in May, so flooding is still possible. Last month's floods killed 20 people and destroyed dozens of homes. After 40 years, the NBA title is back in the Bay Area. The Warriors survived the last desperate shots from LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers and the raucous environment at Quicken Loans Arena to finally claim a new slice of history with a 105-97 victory. And as the Bay Area celebrates, many will be asking, fairly or not, why James, the greatest player in the game, has only won 2 championships in 12 seasons. If the Fed is leaning towards raising its key interest rate in September, we'll likely know today. That's when they'll forecast the benchmark rate for the end of the year. The Fed hasn't boosted its benchmark rate since 2006. It has been near zero since the 2008 financial crisis and recession. A rise in rates is likely to push up borrowing costs for consumers and businesses. The Islamic fasting month of Ramadan is likely to begin at sundown today in the U.S., but Muslims who live farther north must fast several hours longer than those in Mecca. On the year's longest day, June 21, some could end up fasting for as long as 20 hours. The Muslim holy month traditionally starts the morning after the naked eye sighting of the new moon. Here's another sign that the economy is rebounding. More people are having babies. The number of births among women ages 15 to 44 ticked up by 1% from 2013 to 2014 to 3.98 million births. That's the first increase since 2007, the beginning of the recession, according to a study released today by the National Centers for Health Statistics. In today's weather, heavy rains from the remnants of Bill will soak the southern plains. Severe storms will lash portions of the Ohio Valley and northern Rockies. On the stock market, U.S. stock futures were higher this morning. 5 Things is part of the USA Today podcast network. If you like this show, check out its evening counterpart, The Shortlist, which is a roundup of the biggest stories you may have missed each day. You can get more episodes of 5 Things on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher.
I'm Shannon Ray Green, and this is The Shortlist, the top stories you may have missed today. Coming up, crisis in the Mediterranean, Boston strong, and a spaceship to slam Mercury. First on the list today, thousands in search of a new life are dying in the Mediterranean. Europe said it's going to do something about it. You probably heard about it over the weekend, but do you know just how big a deal it is? A migrant ship capsized in the Mediterranean Sea off the Libyan coast late Saturday. It's believed that as many as 700 to 950 people may have died. People on the ship were trying to flee Africa or the Middle East for Europe. The thing is, this wasn't an isolated incident. It's part of a huge humanitarian crisis. Tens of thousands of migrants desperate to escape war and poverty make the trek across the Med each year. Many of them die trying. The voyages are treacherous with overcrowding, kids vomiting, people scared, and confusion. Lassina Doumbia, an 18-year-old who arrived in Italy from his native Mali, said, "You don't do this because you want to. You do it because you have no other choice. It is desperation. There is nothing if you stay behind." Last year, the European Union decided to scale back its refugee rescue operation after Italy turned the task over to them. There's a tiny island in Italy where the mass influx of refugees land because it's their closest destination. The country was overwhelmed by budgetary constraints and handed the work of dealing with the refugees to the EU. Pope Francis and other human rights groups have called for a greater humanitarian effort to help the migrants traveling the dangerous waters. The EU had an emergency meeting today and announced it's going to expand its rescue effort and do more to help the immigrants fleeing to their shores. Marathon runners show us how Boston strong they are. The race is about running, but it's also about remembering. 2 years ago, Lalisa Desisa of Ethiopia donated his medal to the city of Boston in a show of support after the bombings. He was the 2013 winner, and he won again today. Caroline Rotich of Kenya won the women's race. Runners and spectators were greeted with a cold, gray morning for Boston's annual rite of spring. Security was especially tight near the finish, where the 2013 race ended in horror as 3 people died and more than 250 were injured. The tragedy gave birth to the Boston Strong movement, which continues. Several runners in this year's field were wounded in 2013 while running or just watching from the crowded sidewalks lining the finish route. More than 30,000 people registered for the 2015 marathon, which began with the mobility-impaired division, wheelchairs, and hand cycles. Women's wheelchair division champion Tatiana McFadden honored Martin Richard, the youngest victim of the attack. Tomorrow, the region's eyes will turn back to federal court, where the penalty phase for convicted bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev begins. Some victims and family members have said justice requires death for Tsarnaev. Others, including the parents of 8-year-old Martin Richard, want him sentenced to life in prison. U.S. warships flex their muscles at Iran. Things are getting tense between the U.S. and Iran. Are they ever not? The U.S. is sending warships to the waters off the coast of Yemen to prepare to intercept any potential Iranian shipments of weapons to Houthi rebels. Iranians are known supporters of the rebels who are fighting Yemen's U.S.-backed government. Yemen, the Arab world's poorest country, has been pushed to the brink of collapse by ground fighting and Saudi-led airstrikes in support of current President Abd Rabbu Mansour Hadi, who was forced to flee to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia and several of its allies, mainly Gulf Arab countries, have been trying to drive back the rebels. The U.S. supports the Saudi campaign. White House spokesman Josh Earnest said Iran's weapons supply and support for the rebels is, quote, exactly the kind of destabilizing activities that we have in mind when we raise concerns about Iran's destabilizing activities in the Middle East. Insane eBay markups totally defeat the point of #Lily for Target. This is the tale of an eBay resale nightmare. Target launched its Lilly Pulitzer product line on Sunday, and it created total pandemonium. Target had to take its website offline for a brief period, and everything pretty much sold out everywhere. Needless to say, shoppers who had been counting down to Target's Pulitzer Shop-A-Geddon were supremely disappointed. Then came the eBay resales. Some consumers who were lucky enough to snag the coveted items before they sold out then began reselling them on eBay, but with some pretty serious markups. Dresses and home goods that originally sold for less than $40 had asking prices of more than $100. The selling frenzy has gotten backlash. A movement has started on Facebook to boycott the inflated eBay prices. The group's profile reads, "Boycott eBay sellers who are marking up Lilly by Target after clearing shelves of merchandise only to turn a profit." Last on the list today, NASA tweets for a spaceship before its death crash into Mercury, saying it's been a wonderful and exciting trip. Gravity soon will kill the messenger. The NASA spacecraft that launched in 2004 from Cape Canaveral and became the first to orbit Mercury in 2011 is on course to crash into the planet's surface on April 30th at more than 8,700 miles per hour. John Grunsfeld, head of NASA's Science Mission Directorate, said Messenger is going to create a new crater on Mercury at some point in the very near future. Rather than be sad about that, we really are celebrating just a fantastic mission. Messenger is short for Mercury Surface Space Environment, Geochemistry, and Ranging. Mission scientists said today that the spacecraft's mapping of the planet and discoveries about its makeup have reshaped the understanding of Mercury and ideas about how early planets formed. Data collection will continue until 10 or 15 minutes before impact and will be analyzed for years. NASA concluded a celebration of the mission with a Twitter message attributed to the spacecraft. "Please give my thanks to the team," it said. "It's been a wonderful and exciting trip." For more of today's top stories, check out the shortlist on your phone or tablet. This show is part of the USA Today podcast network. If you like it, check out USA Today's 5 Things on iTunes, giving you the 5 most important stories you need to know as you start your workday. 5 Things and the shortlist are also available to stream and download on SoundCloud.
Sucking all kinds of balls. Yes, it's sucking all kinds of balls. You know it. Doesn't that suck? Well, hey, you don't have to worry about it anymore. The real goddamn radio people are on the air now. That's right. You got it tuned to HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. And you got the Crash Man with you here for your coffee and cigarettes at 3 p.m. Eastern in the big city of New York right now, 17th of June, 2015, where it is 78 degrees in Central Park under some sunny skies. Yes. You know, when Donald Trump runs for president, the sun just comes out. Oh. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Well, welcome to the show today, and you're probably sitting there going, hey, what the hell is on the damn show today? I got all kinds of stuff on the show today, but not the least of which is the USA Today podcast network is no longer on the air. Isn't that crap horrible? Wow. Well, you know, you could get all your stories from USA Today podcast network, or you could come here. Make your choice. Yeah, time's up. Okay, so I guess if you're still here, we win. That's right. We got all kinds of craziness and debauchery going on all over the bloody place today. First up today, we're going to tell you about a prosecutor, a criminal prosecutor, that gets 18 months for raping a teen boy. Isn't that nice? Yes, and the Democrats ripped the Republicans over leaking in the Benghazi probe. Also, the Manhunt is being revamped as the trail of the New York killers is cooling off to a nothing. And we got another shark attack victim today. Yes, 16-year-old shark attack victim in California is all up in arms. That's because he ain't got none. Well, I guess that's what you do when you need arms and don't have them. Yes, and 9 U.S. cities are almost out of water. Yeah, if anybody cares. No? All right, well... Well, hey, if you think all that's bad, we've also got the story about perhaps a more immediate concern, at least in Georgia, as a tiger that escaped from a flooded zoo kills one so far. And finally, we've got presidential campaigns logos, mixed reviews. Hillary's, for example, looks like a hospital sign indicating, well, of all things, turn right, next right. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I thought she wasn't... Yeah, whatever. Hillary's. Yeah, there she is. Hey. I don't know what to say. I just saw the damn thing now, and I'm just like, what? Okay, well, hey, that's it. So all that and so much more today. Come on in, grab yourself a cup, have a seat. Light one up, gang. It's coffee time. Yes, it is coffee time in the big city. Your coffee and cigarettes on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course. And I'm being drawn to the Spreaker.com chat room, where we are joined by the number one HTLA promotions manager himself, the one, the only Apocalypse. And, of course, shooting the shit with Pauly B is in the house. So, just be aware. If you want to hang out with them, you can head on over to Spreaker.com, look for HTLA, and hit search, and you'll find us right there. And the one, the only Miss Devlon Crawford is in the chat room as well. So there you go. I don't need to try and sell the chat room anymore with, reasonable facsimiles like Apocalypse and Pauly B. Now we've got the genuine article in there. The one, the only Devlon Crawford. So there you go. There you go. It'll be filling up now. Well, thank you for joining us on the big show today. Of course, your coffee and cigarettes is brought to you by the fine folks at PreSonus. Yes, Jenny's in there pushing those buttons on that 24/4/2 digital broadcast mixer, and, well, she's loving it. I think she's loving it anyway. She looks like she's smiling. Yeah. So, if you're into professional or digital audio needs, you want to check out PreSonus.com. Also, the show is brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City. That's right, with 8 locations in that city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. Tim Hortons is always fresh. Yes, from the Canadians who know to your pimps and hoes. Tim Hortons, always fresh, yeah. What are we doing today? Well, I know I've given the brief on the stories. Yeah, those are something special, but I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. What the hell am I missing? Oh! I'm missing our guests / co-hosts. That's what I'm missing. So I guess coming to us first from the lovely, spacious, sprawling Mill Bay Film and Television Studios in beautiful Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada, is the one, the only Louis Lawless, filmmaker extraordinaire who never quite won the Academy Award. Louis, are you there?
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
And you didn't.
And we didn't.
No. See?
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did. And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So what's the email address?
Oh, great. It's good to have you here. I'm glad you're keeping up with us.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Okay, good.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Well, I already told you it's not a problem. You're on that 20-second delay or whatever it is, and all of the listeners have survived now. Folks like Morgan Freeman and Samuel L. Jackson. So you're
it's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah. See, you're fine. You're fine. Well, moving on to about 8 blocks down the street here from HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan is, of course, the one, the only. Yes, Gilbert Gottfried. It's good to hear you again. Glad you're here. You're not doing the Melvin thing today.
So, and here's Hervey Villagers in Centavon. Your name is Daphne, because I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent. Did you just salute to me, even though I'm blind?
Oh, God, what the Christ is that?
Yes.
Yeah, I see you've got some new and improved material today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
But I love every second of it.
Well, I mean, it's Hervé Villachez. I mean, who wouldn't? Wow.
Here's Jerry Lewis directing Hervé Villachez. Hervé, can you act with the realistic person acting? Yes, Mr. Lewis. In France, we admire you. Oh, thank you. You short midget person. We do not like that midget. Oh, I'm sorry, little person with the thing.
Wow, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, man, what the hell? So you're on this Hervé Villachez dealio, huh?
Yes.
Well, of course, some of our listeners may not be old enough to remember Hervé. Yes, Hervé was, he played the role of Tattoo on Fantasy Island. Yes, opposite. Now, who the hell was that? The Wrath of Khan guy.
Yes.
Ricardo Montalban. Yes, the fine hand-tooled Corinthian leather. Yes. He played Tattoo, and the Scent of the Woman thing there with, replacing, of course, the legendary, what's his name, Scarface guy. Yeah. Al Pacino. There we go. I do know who he was. Yes, I do. That's kind of you do that very, very well.
Yes.
I gotta say that Hervé Villachez, de plane, boss, de plane. Yes, Scent of a Woman. Wow, there's a contrast.
I am in pain. I love to dance the tango.
Shit. Oh man! Well, God, thanks for warning me you were going to bring all this shit today.
Yes.
I gotta get some the stories. I gotta.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yes.
Fucking guy.
Hi.
Yeah.
Leroy with the camera and the thing.
The thing, yeah. Okay. Well, it's good that we've got,
I'm the most talented guy in this room.
You're still sitting alone in your apartment. Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. Oh yeah, never mind. What the hell am I? I'm just spacing out on your Hervé Villachez. Yes, I just can't focus here.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories, anyway.
Right, Louis, the stories. Thanks for reminding me.
Yes.
I guess we should probably, get to those.
Yes.
So you're going to shut the hell up long enough so I can actually, do something without the world exploding into laughter?
Yes.
Yeah? You sure?
Yes.
All right, because I don't want to get started here and then have you blow, snot out of my nose.
Yes.
All right, well, I will, I don't know how much I trust you, but I'll give it a shot. Yes. Well, up first, of course, in the stories today, yes, told you about it at the beginning of the show. Criminal prosecutor gets 18 months for raping a teenage boy. Oh, yeah. Can't tell you. I can't tell you just what a joyous occasion this is for me right now. This is... it's
well, it's not awful, but just not good.
Oh, it's not awful.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe tell that to the boy with a ripped anus. Yeah. Oh, it's not awful. Well, former Delaware criminal prosecutor Daniel Simmons made a tearful apology today to his teenage rape victim. Yes, the scene in the courtroom was, well, much like the boy's anus, tense. The colleagues of the people of Delaware and his victim and family and all onlookers, and of course, a huge swath of the media. Well, the judge still sentenced him to, here we go, the big sentence, 18 months in prison. Yes, for allegedly, well, no, not allegedly, he's convicted.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, for raping the 16-year-old boy during a, kinky, threesome. Of course, with a college student last year, Simmons, 35, had pled guilty in late March to one count of fourth-degree rape, punishable by up to 15 years in prison. Under a plea deal that saw his former employer at the Attorney General's office drop the other 3 fourth-degree rape counts. I guess those sphincters weren't available for comment. I guess that's what that was. Well, Simmons must serve 6 months in, poor guy, home confinement. Yeah, okay, 6 months in home confinement after his prison term ends.
Yes.
And then he'll have to suffer through 2 years of probation. Superior Court Judge William L. Witham, Jr., better known as Easy Dan, said during the 30-minute hearing today. Simmons' crime involved a 3-way tryst in March of 2014 at his home in Pike Creek. The sex acts occurred after Simmons allegedly told a 24-year-old New York University student, Matthew Coogan, of his desire to have sex with a younger person, specifically a school-age boy. Well, the crime carries no minimum sentence, and sentencing guidelines called for up to 22 months in prison because Simmons accepted responsibility. A public furor has arose. Really? Yes. Last year when it was revealed in a civil lawsuit that the DuPont family heir, Robert Richards...
Yes.
Well, had received probation in 2009 for a fourth-degree rape case involving his 3-year-old daughter. Well, for the sake of making a very bad painting joke, I guess you can't paint over that one.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Oh, yeah.
It's not awful, but just not good.
You know, Gilbert, raping a 3-year-old, I think... I think that might kind of qualify as awful.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, in that case, his attorney argued that Richards would, quote, not fare well in prison because he's so damned rich. An observation Judge Jan R. Jordan listed as a mitigator in her sentence order, leading to online petitions for her oust. Jordan is now a president judge of Superior Court. The prosecutor in that case didn't object to probation as long as Richards sought treatment in an expensive psychiatric clinic. Yeah, that's it. You get somebody like that with a hefty psychological bill. Although subsequent records now over the last number of years shows Richards never did get treatment. Well, in 2014, News Journal analysis of 15 defendants convicted of a single count of fourth-degree rape since 2008. Jenny, what's with this story here going off into all these other stories? What happened to the sick criminal prosecutor who's banging high school kids? What happened to him? What the hell is it? Really? That's what... Jesus Christ, Gilbert. Let's go back to your scent of a woman. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all it is. The rest of the story is all other crap Jenny's thrown in for, I guess, I don't know, research? I don't know what the hell this is. Jenny, you and I are going to have a conversation about sodomy. Yeah, you've heard it in the funny papers.
Yes.
Yeah. Now it's time to try it. Yeah. Not only try it, honey, we're going to try it Texas style. Well, let's hope you don't screw up as bad in the next story. Yes, of course, the next story is about the Democrats ripping the GOP a new one. Now, I guess follow up torn assholes with more torn assholes, yeah? Yes, those Democrats are ripping the GOP over leaking in Benghazi probe. That's Sip and Sigh, brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City. Yeah, so the Democrats are ripping the Republicans over a leaking in Benghazi probe. Washington today, Democrats on the Special House Committee investigating the 2012 Benghazi terror attacks accused Republicans on the committee Wednesday of violating their own rules by selectively releasing certain evidence before the investigation was complete. 5 Democrats, led by Rep. Elijah Cummings of Maryland, wrote to the committee's chairman, GOP Rep. Trey Gowdy of South Carolina, asking Republicans to release a transcript of Tuesday's disposition of Sidney Blumenthal. Not just the emails he provided to the committee, but also the testimony. Blumenthal is a close confidant of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. It's almost like introducing her as the goal scorer in the hockey game.
Yes.
Yes, Clinton, whose conduct surrounding Benghazi attacks is a top focus of the GOP-led investigation. The attacks killed 4 Americans. Rather than selectively leaking only certain information about Mr. Blumenthal, the American people deserve the benefit of Mr. Blumenthal's responses to the hundreds of questions that you and other select committee members asked him, including questions about the same emails, the Democrats wrote. It's going to be a long 16 months talking about emails. And Gowdy said Monday the committee received about 120 new pages of emails between Blumenthal and Clinton regarding Libya. He said the emails would be added to Clinton's already public email record. The committee interviewed Blumenthal for many hours on Tuesday behind closed doors. Obviously, the full transcript of Mr. Blumenthal's disposition would provide important background to the context in his emails. Otherwise, there would have been no reason to hold the disposition in the first place, the Democrats wrote. Their letter offers more evidence that the special committee is lost most, if not all, of the bipartisan cooperation that characterized its launch more than a year ago and more than $28 million ago. Well, there that is, and what do you?
Yes.
I mean, what do you say about that? It's
he does a tour de force.
Oh, the Blumenthal guy.
Yes.
There? Yeah. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, isn't he playing on Broadway? Yeah. I think I read. I don't know if it was in the Times or a magazine or something.
Yes.
Yeah, knowing you probably paid for the ad. Yeah. That's probably it. Well, listen, gang, we're going to go for our first commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to tell you about the latest in the New York Killers saga. Yeah. Yes, where are they now? We should just change their name to Waldo. Just do that. We'll change the name to Waldo. When we come back, we'll tell you about what's going on with the New York Killers and the Manhunt that is now being revamped because, well, shit ain't working. It's not working. It's not getting them anywhere, and we'll find out all that and so much more when we're back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed ensuring maximum flavor and freshness. Then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it. Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Baynesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
We're going to take a break. Don't touch that dial.
Too fat and lazy to come pick up a bazooka? Log on and have it at your door the next morning. Log on to ammunition.net. Try our motion-sensitive cluster bombs and shoot-to-maim automated firing gun turrets, which come ready to assemble in 284 easy parts. Ammunition.net also has a full line of generators so you can keep your fridge running and the beer cold through extended apocalypse. Need to stock up fast? The strongest will survive with our all-in-one Y2K kit featuring a tractor-trailer load of lager beer, Redwood cigarettes, and enough firepower and ammunition to level a small country. Jesus. Y2K. It's coming, and you'd better be ready. Log on to ammunition.net now. Protecting your rights online.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Action! And the thing with the camera.
You a crazy man.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you? Sitting behind his desk at Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door, and Jerry doesn't have an eye.
He was quite the skirt chase.
Oh, yeah.
Had an eye for the
Ladies, yeah.
Like to look at the opposite sex.
Yes, thank you, Gilbert, for stating the absolute freaking obvious. Yeah.
Mr. T would be proud of you.
Well, damn right he should be,
You would have loved the guy. Never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession.
Women.
That was women.
Yeah.
He just pitied the fool, and yeah.
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
He would walk into. We were doing a big boxing movie with 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims in those days. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah.
And he would point at the female. And he went and got him and gave him a note, and every 20 or 30 minutes they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
It's all about the business, yes.
He does a tour de force.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's Muhammad Ali right there, yeah. Well, hey, gang, welcome back to the big show, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. Yeah, it's a Wednesday grinder on your coffee and cigarettes today for the 17th of June, 2015. 78 degrees, still Central Park, sunny. Well, yeah, there's clouds out there, and they're goddamn coming, but it's still sunny. I hear Louis, actually. Yes. Louis, you were actually in the news again recently. You've gotten into more bloody trouble.
Yeah. I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Yeah, well, take it from Gilbert. That'll happen. It does, and it's sad. I mean, why do we live in countries where you can't just go to a theater and boo and scream? Why can't we do that? I don't know.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Well, yeah,
yes,
yeah. That could be it as well. Just a reminder, too, folks, if you're not in the Spreaker.com chat room, you just ain't all kinds of something. It just... we got whackloads in there now. Of course, the aforementioned Apocalypse and Polly B. Yes, the one and only Devlon Crawford. What is Devlon Crawford? Is not funny. Now you're just being a prick. That's
yes.
Yes, we got the, I believe the topless intern, of course, is in there, and also no? Oh. Look at that. He's not here today. Bjorn Eriksson, little bastard, isn't here today. Well, that's okay. He's probably got a note from his doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, or Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard that yesterday, Gilbert? We didn't cover it on the show, of course, but the news there, Hillary's writing, these kids, these 9-year-olds, can you write me an absent note from school? Oh, wait a minute. No, we did cover that yesterday. What the hell am I talking about? I just lost my shit. I don't...
I'm in bed! I love to dance the tango.
I can't do that. I just don't have... I don't have what it takes. I don't... Well, I tried to do, that impersonation of you.
Yes.
Failed like an epic frickin'... I think, I don't know, what is it? If I could analyze my performance yesterday, of trying to sound like you.
Yes.
I think what it really boils down to is I'm not 3.5 feet tall and bitchy. I don't know. I'm just thinking. You know, I'm actually trying to be serious here and give it a serious critique.
Yes. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Yeah.
Well, it does. It does. True enough. And you know what? I think we should rename the show to All Kinds of Wrong on HTLA. Yep. Well, let's see now. Oh, yes, I promised you the New York Killers update. Yes. Well, what's going on, you might ask? Well, law enforcement seems to be asking the same bloody question. Yes, it looks like they don't know either. The manhunt for two killers who vanished from a New York State prison 11 days ago now on Wednesday was being scaled back near the prison in Denmora as authorities dealt with a trail that might have gone, I don't know, cold, could be. Of course, on Coffee and Cigarettes, yesterday we reported that the two men were down drinking cervezas in Texas.
Yes.
But they won't look there. No. Well, State Police Major Charles Guess, they put a guy with the last name of Guess in charge of the investigation. Well, Major Guess, do you have any ideas?
Yes.
Oh, come on, just take a guess. Come on. Well, Major Guess, who is actually leading the search, said today that about 200 officers were released back to their departments because a, quote, hard perimeter around the primary search area had been dropped. He said more than 600 federal, state, and local officers and agents remain engaged in search efforts that has drawn to more than 1,400 leads so far. Captain Robert LaFountain of the New York State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation says authorities have no information that Richard Matt, 48, and David Sweat, 35, had been able to leave the area, but he acknowledged they might be long gone. Yeah, quote, "We are going to pursue every lead, and we are going to locate the individuals, and they will be apprehended," he said at a news conference not far from the Clinton Correctional Facility, from which the men fled under cover of night in the early hours of June 6th. Also today, Clinton County District Attorney Andrew Wiley confirmed that Joyce Mitchell, the prison employee accused of aiding in the escape, told investigators that the killers had discussed murdering her husband Lyle. I'm thinking that was at her behest.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's a priority for these two looties. Well, Wiley also said investigators had no reason to believe that Lyle Mitchell had any prior knowledge of the escape or aided it in any way, especially since they were talking about killing him. Well, Route 374, a main thoroughfare in rural Clinton County that has been swarming with police officers, was open to traffic today. It had been closed since June 10th after police and canine units had picked up the scent of the suspects at different locations in a wooded area along the road around a bunch of food wrappers. Right. State Police Superintendent Joseph D'Amico said in a statement that an extensive search indicated the inmates, quote, may have spent time there, but he said the ground search in the immediate area will be scaled back. Officers who manned the road were being moved, he said. Hundreds of troopers, forest rangers, correction officers, the FBI, U.S. Marshals, customs officers, the Clinton, Franklin, and Essex County Sheriff's Department, the Plattsburgh Police Department, and even a special guest appearance by Tommy Lee Jones have, of course, failed to bring any suspects to anything, even to Burger King. Well, and apparently they've searched more than 16 square miles, D'Amico said. Wow, really, 11 days, 16 miles? I think I could do that on an ATV. No, I'm serious. I could do that by myself on an ATV.
Yes.
Give me a couple of, 6 packs.
Yes.
And, yeah, I make it a summer adventure. Right, Christ, with all those law enforcement officers, wouldn't that have filled up a 16 square mile area?
Yes.
I think. Really? 16 square mile? Wow. Wow. There you go, ladies and gentlemen of the public. You can trust your law enforcement. Well, authorities also released progression photos of what the inmates might look like now with all kinds of different disguises and fun movie makeup. All available assets continued to be deployed around the clock, including K-9 and aviation units, D'Amico said. Any penny we can spend towards this fruitless deal, we're going to spend. Well, there that is. Remember yesterday we had those 2 shark attacks we told you about in North Carolina?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, we got another one in California. Although this time, I got to say, I don't think it's the same shark.
Yes.
No, see, I was pretty convinced of that yesterday with the other 2. Cause,
Yes.
They were an hour apart and about, half a mile apart.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, this is clear over to California. A 16-year-old boy lost a limb in a shark attack and said that the first time he saw the shark, it was biting up his left arm. Well, Hunter Treshy spoke about the attacks in a series of videos uploaded by a New Hanover Regional Medical Center in North Carolina, where he's receiving treatment. He says, I didn't see it coming. Wait a minute, North Carolina? What the hell is this, Jenny? This is California. Oh, okay, she just made me a lying scumbag.
Yes.
This is one of the idiots who lost his arms yesterday. Okay. Yes, the teen thanked those who worked to save him after the attack. Treshy of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Sure, throw Colorado in there. Not confused enough. Wow. Treshy of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Kirsten Yao, 12 years old, of Archdale, North Carolina, were maimed in separate attacks on the same beach of that North Carolina beach we told you about yesterday. Treshy said he was playing with his cousin in the ocean when he felt something bump his legs. It kind of hit on my left leg. It was like a big fish come under me, and then I felt it like one more time, and then it kind of hit my arm, Treshy said on Tuesday in one of the clips. Both Treshy and Yao were in waist-deep water, about 20 yards offshore, when they were attacked along a stretch of beach in Oakland Island, about 30 minutes south of Wilmington, North Carolina, and not freaking California or Colorado. Well, the girl was attacked first at about 4:10 in the afternoon near a popular pier. The boy about 5:40 in the afternoon, according to dispatch logs. Treshy said his cousin helped him out of the water, and a man used a belt to make a makeshift tourniquet to stop the bleeding from his arm. A witness described the attack on the boy to ABC News, but we're not going to go there. Okay, fine. Here it is.
Yes.
He looked like he was waving at his friends, Randy Milligan said. The shark just came out of the water like you snap your fingers, bit his whole arm off. Officials could not say whether the same shark was involved in both attacks. The size of the shark or sharks was not known. Yao also lost a portion of her arm and suffered injuries to her left leg, is being treated at UNC hospitals in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. On Tuesday, her family released a statement asking for privacy while she recovers, and no, you can't have the arm. She has a long road to recovery that will include many surgeries, rehabilitation, but her doctors at UNC expect she will keep her leg. And for that, we are grateful, Brian and Lori Yao said in their statement. The family called the event extraordinarily traumatic. Well, okay, but you know Donald Trump announced for president yesterday, right? I mean, you know, there's traumatic.
Yes.
Then there's that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the family called the event extraordinarily traumatic and asked for time and space to come to terms with what happened. What she's really saying is news crews F off. Well, Treshy said he looks forward to returning home, seeing his friends, and living a normal life with one arm. I can try to live my life the way I was and make an effort to do that even though I don't have an arm, or I can be the drummer for Def Leppard. No, that's not what he said.
Yes.
He said, I can try to live my life the way I was and make an effort to do that even though I don't have an arm, or I can kind of just let this be completely debilitating and break my life down to shit and ruin it away. Tretchell said, out of those two, there's really only one I would choose to do, and I'm going to do that as soon as I get home and get into Dad's Jack Daniels. Actually, he said, I'm going to try and live life with the cards I've been dealt. So what that actually means is he's going to go home and get into Jack Daniels. Yeah. Well, hey, Gilbert, here you go. This is good.
Yes.
Yeah? Would you like to take a shark quiz? How much you know could save your life next time you get in the water. Well, actually, no. It wouldn't save your life. You're kind of bite-size. They wouldn't have to start at your arm and move along.
Yes.
You know, it's just more kind of a... Well, listen, gang, we got to go for our next commercial break, our second, yes, and hey, you know, good news, it's the last commercial break today. But when we come back, we're going to tell you about 9 cities in the United States that are well, they have run out of water. Nobody cares. You know, and we'll tell you all about how much nobody cares when we come back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
It could be 7 in the morning.
Or 10 at night.
In Chilliwack, BC.
Or St. Peters, Nova Scotia.
It could be Michelle.
Or Mark.
Or Jen.
But whenever, wherever you order that cup of Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee,
You know that it's always
always
fresh.
From Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver Island, Tim Hortons, a coffee all our own.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain. Define that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
If only the world was less like this.
I could use a smoke.
Hey, put that out! And more like this.
I could use a smoke.
You murderer! I might have children one day! Smoking kills, unless you kill first. If you're around a smoker, you will die. Smokers may look relaxed and like they're having fun. Don't believe it. Vote yes on Proposition 421. Let's outlaw smoking everywhere, even in people's homes, and allow honest citizens to legally kill anyone who smokes. Let's live in a world without smokers. Prohibition works. Let's prove it. Let's move up the food chain. It's time to smoke the smokers. Vote yes on Proposition 421.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio
1. You know, that's what she said.
Break for a commercial.
Yes. Crazy bastard.
Yes.
You gotta love it.
I remember growing up, it seemed like Juliet Prowse was on TV every day.
God, you're freaking old. Juliet Prowse, really?
And much like Charlize Theron, she also was an African American.
Oh, she really? She be black? Oh, there you go. Well, that'll almost fill our NAACP quota for today.
Yes.
You being Catholic, you realize that you can have birth control. You realize that?
We've covered this before, Louis. Yes, I know I can, but it doesn't feel right. You know?
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Okay, let's
fight Hitler!
Yeah. Welcome back to the biggest show today, your coffee and cigarettes on HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course. And it's, what is it? It's the Wednesday Grinder today, yes, getting you through your grind. No, through your week. Yeah, the week, not the grind.
Yes.
No. The grind is fine.
Yes.
Yes. That was a little coffee joke there, you know, fine grind. Yeah.
The music is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Okay, well, you let us know when you're done, and then we'll take a listen with the headphones. Yeah. Wow. Okay, there you go. That's that's all. Yeah, that's all you got.
I'm in pain. I love to dance the tango.
Tattoo, shut your face. Well, I want to say once again, because Jesus Christ, I haven't spent enough bloody time on talking about the Spreaker.com chat room yet. Yes, I do have to mention that our Texas weather correspondent...
Yes.
The one, the only Sharon Chesley is now finally freaking here after we've done all of the Texas jokes. Yes. So there you go. That's.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
What?
I think it should be short and sweet.
Okay.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
What's your goddamn rush, old man? Jesus Christ. Holy shit. shit, I can't even do my own bloody...
Yes.
Well, anyway, yes, greetings, salutations to Sharon there from that faraway land called Texas. Yeah. There she is. She's here. Well, actually, she's in and out. The latest weather report is she's lost something off her balcony, and it's all kinds of shit there. And Devlon, of course, says, well, hey, at least she's not in the helicopter, huh?
Yes.
And speaking of that, of course, it is time. We do have to go to them because we don't have any foul-mouthed black people on the show today. So, going to go to Brock Favors up in HTLA. Traffic 1. Brock, take it away. Good luck, you stupid son of a...
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with Traffic on the Ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here at the chopper, but I got to tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh, my God! Oh! No, stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10. It is massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do. Oh, goddamn, we're gonna die in this mother. Oh my God! Woo! Okay. I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, please! Oh, goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh, mama, help me, mama! Oh, But a 405 is up right now. Ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Oh, kill me!
HTLA would like to offer its condolences to Brock Favors' family. You know, it doesn't seem to matter how much we play this.
Yes.
Over and over again, day after day, you just can't get that kind of gold. You just... It's like... I don't know, what's it like? It's like chocolate cake and whipped cream. And,
yes.
I don't know. It's so damn good. It's
same thing.
What? Okay, it's just good. Okay, there you go. Yes.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Oh, I think that's Louis' hint for us to get back to the stories. I think that might be it. And of course, the last couple of stories of the day, usually it's just a smattering of shit that I put together.
Yes.
But in this particular case, this one's pretty important. But I guess you have to ask yourself the question: does anybody care? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll get the official response from the Spreaker.com chat room.
Yes.
Well, there you go, listeners. So you tell us if this concerns you one little frickin' bit. Yes, the story, of course, I'm referring to is the 9 cities in the United States that, pretty much as of today are out of water. I guess unless anybody in the Spreaker.com chat room is actually in one of those 9 cities, they won't care. Well, and it's kind of like that Texas thing.
Yes.
You know, we've been sitting there, for like, last 8, 9, 10 years.
Yes.
I think we've been dealing or hearing about, I guess. Well, some of us have probably been dealing with it. Well, essentially, we all have been dealing with it because of beef prices. But, I think... that they've had a drought there for like a decade.
Yes.
Nothing but no water and blowing tumbleweed.
Yes.
That's all they've had. And now, of course, it's flood frickin' city. And so for the 10 years they've been bitching, well, we got no rain.
Yes.
We got no rain. We got no rain.
Yes.
Now we got no land. We got no land.
It's not awful, but just not good.
Yeah, kind of like that Prosecutor rape. Yeah. Well, here it is. Hold on to your butts. The 9 cities with the worst drought conditions in the country are all located in California. Which, of course, is now entering its 4th consecutive year of drought as demand for water is at an all-time high. The long-term drought is already at dire consequences for the state's agricultural sector, municipal water systems, the environment, and other water consumers. Based on data provided by the U.S. Drought Monitor, a collaboration between academic and government organizations, 24/7 Wall Street identified 9 large U.S. urban areas that have been under persistent, serious drought conditions over the first 6 months of this year. The Drought Monitor classifies drought by 5 levels of intensity from D0, described as abnormally dry, to D4, freaking dust. Last year, 100% of California was under the least severe drought conditions, or D2. Wait a minute, I thought they just told that was D0. Make up your frickin' mind. For the first time the Drought Monitor began collecting data, it was also the first time that exceptional drought at the highest level had been recorded in the state. This year, 100% of 3 urban areas in the state are in a state of exceptional drought, and 100% of all 9 areas reviewed are in at least extreme drought, or D3. I thought they just said that was D4. Well, according to Brad Rippey, a meteorologist with the United States Department of Agriculture, yes, the good old USDA, California has a Mediterranean climate in which the vast majority of precipitation falls during the 6-month period from October through March. In fact, more than 80% of Californians' rainfall is during the cold months. As a result, it is very difficult to get significant changes in the drought picture during the warm season. Well, Rippey added that even when it rains during the summer, evaporation due to high temperatures largely offsets any accumulations. A considerable portion of California's environmental, agriculture, and municipal water needs depend on 161 reservoirs, which are typically replenished during the winter months. As of May 31st, the state's reservoirs added less than 6.5 million acre-feet of water over the winter. 78% of the typical recharge of about 8.2 million acre-feet. A single acre-foot contains more than 325,000 gallons of water. This is the 4th consecutive year that reservoir recharge has failed to breach the historical average. Funny thing here, too, yesterday, I don't know, I was somewhere. I was on Twitter or something.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Good for listening. Yeah. But I was on Twitter, and somebody had tweeted a picture, an aerial photo.
Yes.
It could have been taken by Brock Favors just before his demise. But it was an aerial photo of a reservoir, one of the closest ones to Los Angeles.
Yes.
And they showed it at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
And then they took another photo from the same position at noon Pacific time. And
yes.
the 9 in the morning shot, it looks like a reservoir. You can tell by the edges around it. It's a big bloody, lake, essentially.
Yes.
But you can tell by the areas of concrete around it that, the levels were down, but it still looked like a fairly big reservoir,
Yes.
right? Yeah, the noon picture, it was almost bone dry. There was just a little bit of mud on the bottom, and that one is completely drained. It's done. Like, there's no more water. Yeah. I'm thinking if there's one image that really, signifies the term boned, that's probably it. Normally, current reservoir levels are high enough to buffer against drought. However, after 4 years of it, reservoir holdings are perilously low, says Rippey. Current total storage levels are about 17 million. 17. We did this. Yes, all your aching feet. Yes, we know. Well, in addition to surface water, groundwater is also a major source for the state, particularly during periods of drought. According to a recent UC Davis analysis of the California drought from 2012 to 2014, groundwater may replace as much as 75% of surface water lost to dry conditions this year. As Ripley explained, however, the problem is that the amount of groundwater is unknown. Monitoring the system for groundwater is not nearly as robust as the surface water monitoring system, Ripley said. City and state officials have reached to the long-term drought. No, they've reacted. Yes, they're reaching. I can almost get it. They've reacted to the long-term drought, of course, by imposing various water restrictions. Yes. According to the California Department of Water Resources, California declared a statewide emergency during the 07-09 California drought, the first in U.S. history. California declared another such emergency during the 2012-2014 drought, and statewide precipitation was the driest 3-year period on record. In an attempt to curb the water use, statewide regulations imposed penalties for exceeding water consumption budgets. Using water on lawns or car washes to clean driveways is banned or restricted in each of the 9 cities. There are also economic consequences. The UC Davis study estimated that a loss of at least 410,000 acres of farmland due to water shortages in California's Central Valley, one of the nation's most important agricultural zones, and the location of most of the cities running out of water. An estimated $800 million was lost in farm revenue just last year alone. That total does not include the $447 million in extra pumping costs sustained by the Central Valley researchers at UC Davis. They've estimated a total statewide revenue loss of $2.2 billion and more than 17,000 Mexican jobs. The U.S. Drought Monitor is produced by the National Drought Mitigation Center at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, the USDA, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. 24/7 Wall Street identified the 9 urban areas with populations of 75,000 or more, where the highest percentages of land area was in a state of exceptional drought in the first 6 months of 2015. All data are as of the week ending June 2nd. Oh, really? And wow, they've given me all the data. Oh, damn. Well, I guess here's, at least I can break it down into the cities. So let's see. What are the cities? Well, Hanford, California, of course. Merced, California. Modesto, California. Fresno, California. California. Yuba City. Never heard of it. Who cares? Give us cities that we care about.
Yes.
Oh, and look at that. In all their data, their percentages, their percentiles, their points and dots and decimals and numbers and all that stuff, they've only given me 5 of the 9 cities. Yeah. That wasn't a Jenny screw up. No.
Yes.
No, that was all from that, the Ripley dude there. Well, that is concerning. It is kind of scary.
Yes.
I guess sucks to be a Californian. And I guess there we go. That's it. Does anybody care? Clearly the folks in the Spreaker.com chat room don't. They're talking about something to do with Apocalypse and some guy in California. But yeah, so it's not really a major concern.
Yes.
All right, so I'll just shut the hell up and move along. Maybe this one will get you concerned, you little freaks. I don't know why it's my mission today to get them concerned.
Yes.
I don't know.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Okay, Louis, but I have no power, and nobody's concerned. So don't worry about it. Yeah.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Yeah, right. You just shut up and quit telling me what to do.
Yes.
Well, in our second to last news story today, of course, we're going to tell you about the tiger that has escaped from a flooded zoo and kills one, well, so far. I guess I should qualify this. It's not Texas.
Yes.
No. So all you folks underwater in Texas, have no fear. There's no tiger around that floating house. Well, the tiger that escaped from the zoo in Georgia's capital after flooding destroyed the enclosures was reported today to have killed one man and wounded at least one other. The animal, said by eyewitnesses to be a white tiger, attacked inside a building close to Heroes Square near the Tbilisi Zoo. The Civil GE news agency says... Oh, yes, I forgot to say, it's not Atlanta, Georgia. It's actually in Russia. Don't worry. Yes, the Interior Ministry said police killed the tiger, which was hiding in an abandoned factory when the incident happened, the Associated Press reported. They said he was found with a tripod and a video camera, and they suspected he was working with ISIS and YouTube. Well, the man in his 40s was recently... No, he wasn't recently dead. The man in his 40s was already dead when brought to the hospital, says Alfandi Amidites, head of the Republican hospital in Tbilisi. Civil G reported. I don't even know what the hell that is. Yes, for all your news, it's Civil G. Well, flooding during the weekend destroyed enclosures at the zoo, leaving animals including lions, tigers, bears, and wolves roaming the city. Yeah. There you go. The zoo had said yesterday that all 8 lions and 7 tigers that had been missing were killed in the flooding, along with at least 2 of its 3 jaguars, the AP reported. One jaguar remains unaccounted for and is expected to be quite hungry. And a hippopotamus that escaped from the zoo was cornered and subdued with a tranquilizer gun on Sunday. At least 19 people have died in the flooding, including 4 at the zoo. I guess the moral of the story here is, well, we've got to stop this ISIS threat. We just have to. You can't.
Yes.
Where do we draw the line? We can't let the terrorists win.
Yes.
Now it seems that they're not only enlisting the aid of fellow Americans.
Yes.
They're enlisting the aid of lions and tigers in zoos. It's just got to bloody stop.
Well,
it's
not awful, but just not good.
I think it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going to go on a full level 5 awful. Yeah. That's level 5, not a D4 or a D0.
Yes.
Or your frickin' D2. Well, finally today we've come to the sad end of the sad stories. Yes, presidential campaigns leading with their logos. It's nothing new, but the 2016 lineup is looking a little weird. Yes, well, it's too early to tell which presidential campaign message is resonating the most, if at all. So far, the biggest logo buzz has been around Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
The one, the only Jeb Bush.
Yes.
And Marco Rubio.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, social media commenters make fun of Clinton's logo, comparing it to a hospital road sign. See, like I was saying in the preview there, it looks like... Well, the funny thing is, and the thing I don't get, I've never understood this whole left-right politics thing. I don't know, okay? Right, so, he's heavily left. Oh, he's on the right. Call me a dumbass from Canada,
yes.
But, what? Okay, he's standing to the left of the podium, he's over on the right? What? Who cares where he is? Well... My assessment, I guess is the word. Yeah, my assessment of Hillary Clinton being, a Democrat.
Yes.
I've always kind of thought and heard that, Democrats were left-leaning, right? and, of course, the Republicans with the R, it kind of starts with the R Republicans there, R right. It's right? So you got the Republicans,
yes,
and okay, so if they're right, Hillary's got this blue square,
yes,
and she's got a white squared off letter H,
yes,
just like they say the hospital H,
yes,
and there's a red arrow,
yes,
and it's pointing right. So, the inference when you look at it is like, Hillary's a right-wing nut job. Right, okay. Or, of course, the other thing could be
yes,
that, the hospital is the next right on the road.
Yes.
That's what it looks like. And, of course, social media commentators have made fun of Clinton's logo, comparing it to that hospital road sign or the WikiLeaks Twitter logo. Also, some professional critics found fault with the design as well. Scott Thomas, the design director for, this maybe explains it, Barack Obama's 2008 campaign, said that while the logo is memorable, it's not communicating a message effectively. Thomas attributes this problem to what he thinks is the bigger problem in the Clinton camp, which is that they, quote, don't know what story they're trying to tell yet. Oh, yes. However, Thomas said that over time this could change. He said that the logo is only one piece to the larger brand and that the brand can improve over time as the campaign grows. The brand could become stronger as it did for Obama in 2008. Yeah, I'm going to say that she's probably best off sticking with the whole Scooby-Doo thing. Yes, there are others, of course, out there that think the Hillary logo is a leader already, apparently. Wow, no counting for dumb.
Yes.
Her logo stands out because it's the most unpredictable and challenging visually, says Debbie McMillan of Sterling Brands, chair of the Masters in Branding program at the School of Visual Arts. Yeah, Gilbert,
yes,
remind me never to get HTLA rebranded with Debbie Millman. Well, according to Tai Fujimura, founder of the digital agency Cantilever, the Hillary logo is effective as part of the broader branding intended to challenge negative misconceptions about her. Make them think of a hospital and turning right. Don't make them think of your emails. Well, Clinton's campaign is trying to establish a brand making her appear more, quote, common, to fight against the stereotype that she's part of the establishment, he said. Well, I guess that's working for her. She seems to go into Walmart and various restaurants without anybody even noticing her, so I think she's got that covered.
Yes.
Well, Kevin Lamp, executive vice president of Kurth Lamp, a political strategist who has worked with several presidential campaigns, said that the Hillary took a risk by using only the H and not her name in the logo, but says it's worked because she has such a broad name recognition. Oh yeah, well, we can attest to that firsthand, Gilbert.
Yes.
When we put Hillary 2016,
yes,
or we put Hillary Clinton News,
yes,
or we put Hillary anything, we get like 7 or 8 million listeners just from that. So she's going to do well in the polls.
Yes.
Country of 350 plus million.
Yes.
6 or 7 million listeners. That's like 3.5% or something. Other candidates have also faced criticism, and Millman does not think that any of the logos are particularly strong. They're a, quote, vast wasteland and a sad reflection on the candidate, she said. Well, Jeb Bush's logo, in particular, has become the target for internet mocking for its similarity to old comic cartoons like Batman or Big Lots TV commercials. Yes, Millman said the logo's exclamation point is not effective because it's too forceful in its message. I don't know. When I think Mark Rubio, I'm not thinking forceful. I'm thinking, in fact, that I would go so far as to say that if you actually elected Marco Rubio into the Oval Office, essentially we would have our first woman president. Well, he has received, of course, negative feedback for leaving out Alaska and Hawaii on the U.S. map, replacing the I in Rubio. Despite receiving a wealth of attention, now Thomas believes that it matters more how brands develop over the campaign season, not how they're viewed upon the launch. So that's basically a nice way of saying F off and get a story. There it is. I don't know what the hell else to say.
Yes.
That's it. Boom. There it is. Any parting words?
So, and here's Irving Villagers in Center One.
Hey, Master Plane.
Your name is Daphne, because I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent.
You're just nuts. You're just... Well, I want to thank the one and the only Louis Lawless for being here today. It was great having you again, sir.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
All right, good. And, well, then there you go. There it is, right there.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yeah, we'll get that out to you. End of business today. Absolutely not a problem. Don't worry about it. We're all over it. Yes, and then there was you. The one, the only Gilbert Gottfried, sir. Yes. Thank you for being here today. It was great having you.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God. I'm in pain. I love to dance the tango.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Also to Sharon Chesley, the one, the only Apocalypse, of course, Devlon Crawford, Peter Goodman, the intern, the naked something, I don't know, naked intern, topless intern, what do you want to call him, her? Oh, yeah, geez, never thought it might be a him. Oh. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening, of course. As always, hope it brightened up your freaking week and didn't make you shoot yourself in the head. And as always, don't worry, we'll be here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern for another fine edition of Coffee and Cigarettes, your Thursday double-double. Don't forget to miss that one. Yes. So on behalf of myself, Jenny, and everybody at HTLA, have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.